fully expect that Salford, through Bobby Goulding, will utilise the cross kick several times in the opening 15 minutes.
Match referee Robert Connolly checks his watch, blows his whistle. Henry Paul gets this game underway. The Bradford Bulls attacking from left to right in their all-blue chain strip. And Salford in possession with first use of the football, but immediately Bradford swarming around them in defence.
Super defence there, they're getting off the mark ever so quickly. You can see that Salford having trouble getting over the advantage line. They're a pretty strong outfit, this Bradford Bulls 6, should I say.
Little bit of step back in time for Steve-O. The Bradford Bulls, already they are through their first 5 tackles of the evening, and Salford only on halfway. Goulding inevitably with the kick. Over the top it goes, and it bounces and bobbles all the way into the arms of Michael Withers. He then finds Stuart Spruce. That's a good chase though by Nick Pinkney.
Good work by the winger Pinkney there. It was a good kick eventually from Bobby Goulding. You've got to give them credit. Salford, they do have the speed out wide. Nick Pinkney and Martin are fired. Bradford's wingers, Vicona and Withers, of course, more solid and strong.
Good tackle there by Blakely. The Bulls trying to give it some air. Vicona, Henry Paul onto Lowe's, then onto Anderson. Bradford, by the way, starting tonight with a 32-point lead on the coupon. That's how confident the bookies are that it is going to be their night. And Salford will be doing their best to upset those odds. That's the last tackle. Good set of 6 here for Salford. Lowe's onto Henry, then wide to Robbie, further wide to Forshaw, a dab into open space. Broadbent, the fullback's coming across, and he just waited and waited, and the ball bounced kindly for him.
Unusual tactics there by Bradford. Mike Forshaw running out wide. Of course, he's playing loose forward tonight, but also putting boot to ball. Rather unusual to see that when you've got the 2 Paul brothers out there, but obviously a plan by their coach Brian Noble. But good work by Broadbent.
Well, let's take a look at head-to-head over the years, and this is the way it shapes up as Martin Afire gets clear, and he's got support on his inside from Goulding. It's good stuff from Salford early.
Well, we said they'd have the speed in Martin Afire and Nick Pinkney, and Martin Afire didn't let us down there.
Darren Brown.
On the rage now.
Darren Brown with the charge forward. This is the last one on this set of 6 for Salford. Encouraging start though. Goulding with a high kick, aiming towards the in-goal area. Withers is there underneath it, and he will run the ball back immediately. Counter-attack from the Bradford Bulls. Afire missed him, but the next 2 in didn't.
Well, Bobby Goulding will be absolutely furious with his teammates there. It was a good kick, plenty of height, but there was no Salford players running forward quick enough to apply the pressure. That's the reason why Withers made so much ground upfield.
Great little run from Danny Gartner, and just back to that head-to-head. The Bulls do have much the better of things since the watershed of 1973. 1973-74, by the way, when we start taking all the records, Salford were the champions. But as you can see here at the Willows, it's a little closer, and Afire sweeping up behind the defence. Afire, he is 25 tries away from the magical 500 mark. Tipped the ball inside to Maloney, and Fielden and Anderson were there, and they're penalised by Robert Connolly.
Martin Afire feeling that he was taken out after he passed the ball back on the inside to Francis Maloney. They certainly had a big reception waiting for the centre there, Maloney, but weighing back play, Martin Afire, was it late? Either way, they've come up with a penalty of the Reds.
Yes, it was a push by Anderson as Maloney tried to get to his feet. Now then, Goulding looking busy early on here.
Well, I'm sure that John Harvey would have got the message out to all the other players that if Goulding's going to put the kicking game up, they must support him. They've got to apply that pressure.
Malcolm Alker is the dummy half. That was Michael Hancock. He released it to Blakely. He saw a gap. It was quickly closed there by Fielden.
Good job as Fielden had to go pretty low. Blakely quick off the mark. Again, the kick into the corner.
And they're looking for the speed of Pinkney. Withers is there. And the ball just, I think, finding its way over the dead ball line, but was taken there by the Bradford defender? Well, I'm not so sure it was.
Well, was Pinkney impeded there? Or did Pinkney just follow? Well, it's hard. Difficult there to choose between the two. Michael Withers have got the benefit of the doubt.
Well, maybe it bounced off the knees of Michael Withers,
Well,
not
he
his
certainly
calf,
did,
maybe.
but Pinkney pushed the man. You'll notice how Withers just tries to hold him away.
Well, he's trying to guard it, isn't he? So as there was no chance, and there was no chance, but Salford have got the ball back. The wind is pretty swirly here at the Willows tonight. That looked forward, and it was.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I thought that went backwards first.
How can you work that out? He's ended up 4 yards behind the ball.
Well, after he released it, he was being tackled. He's a pretty tall fella. I think they're badly done to. It's a backward momentum rule.
I just wanted to wait and let you in.
Yeah, okay. Just watch it, please. Just watch it.
Well, that'll make a change.
Robert, in you go. Okay.
Robbie Paul and Robert Connolly having a little word or two.
Well, it's nice to see that the referees and the players getting on, but maybe a little bit too much confidence showing there from this Bradford side. Surely that ball was stolen.
Yeah, it's a knock on, and Rigon didn't like it.
Well, these are the tactics that are really going to upset the Bradford Bulls. We knew that Salford would get right into their faces, but surely that ball has been ripped out by Pinkney. Goulding over the top. 2-on-1, should have been a penalty.
Yes, the Bradford supporters watched that on the big screen as well, and they let Robert Connolly know of their displeasure. Blakely is the dummy half, and now here comes Paul Heighton.
Well, the Reds mixing and matching, they're going on the angle, especially near the play of the ball area. There, they're doing it again. John Harvey, their coach, obviously feels that Bradford's defence in the first and second markers maybe not as slick as what we think.
Blakely, and a good change of direction from Steve Blakely, but Fielden there, and so too Robbie Paul with the tackle. Olcott to scamper away from dummy half. He gets the ball off, and here now is Michael Hancock, and Hancock, well, round and round the mulberry bush and then through the middle.
Well, he'll go through Sherwood Forest eventually, this fella.
It's with Goulding again. Now it's with Hancock. That's good defence. In your face by Henry Paul, but he still managed to get the ball away. Salford keeping it alive. Brown with another stab, but I'm afraid that is far too deep.
Especially on this ground here. Disappointment on the face of John Harvey, but a good build-up there. Good work from Hancock to keep it away. But you can see they are very, very short in goals this season.
And Vicona adds a bit of pace. Good tackle low down by Olcott, helped out there by Heighton. Lowe's gets the ball away to Robbie Paul, and that was on the borderline. Rigon held on.
I bet I wish you didn't. That was a pretty big tackle. That really had a wreck cross on it.
Robbie Paul again, and Withers is not held. He was down on one knee, but wasn't held, and so makes a few more vital metres. Bradford now midway inside the Salford City Reds half of the field with Fielden, and he turns it back to Lowe's. That was touched, and Gartner retains possession for the Bulls. It's 6 to go though. The referee has wiped the tackle count down.
Well spotted by the Salford defence. They know that Bradford do that second loop around on that second phase of attack. A bit of a swinging arm there from the hooker, Malcolm Alka.
There is Brian Noble at the back of the main stand here at the Willows, watching as Henry Paul feeds it wide to his fullback Spruce, who finds Naylor. Naylor wide to Vicona. Inside it goes, and this is a try for Spruce. They gave the ball width and they flung it from hand to hand, and Stuart Spruce comes up with the first try of the match. It has taken a wee while to come, but Bradford Bulls are off and running with Stuart Spruce.
Beautiful combination of the forwards first and then the three quarters. Watch how it sweetly flows across. Two Paul brothers. Naylor onto Vicona, back on the inside. Superb support play from Stuart Spruce. That's the Bulls at their best. Do the hard work, make sure that the link is there. Spruce involved. Look how he just run down the middle. Excellent play. That's teamwork.
and touching down right behind the posts to give Henry Paul the formality of the conversion for the extra 2, and that's exactly what it is. And Bradford are ahead by 6-0 here at the Willows. And Stuart Spruce with a wonderful record already in 2001. Tries in all 5 games for the Bulls so far this season. A rich vein of form for the Bradford Bulls fullback.
Stay behind the kicker. Stay behind the kicker, that's all I ask.
So, a promising start from Salford. 10.5 minutes gone. They trail by 6-0. And here's Vicona. Inside it goes to Anderson. Big hit on him was by Driscoll, but he still got through. And Southern had to be on hand to pull him down. Bradford are at the pace of this match now. But the ball from Robbie Paul hit the deck.
Good play from Malcolm Alka there. Instead of wasting time and stooping to trying to pick up the ball, got the foot to it. Well, some of these Bradford players going far too high. Give him a chance for Broadbent.
Great little run from the Salford fullback, and Fielden's after him, and he still makes more progress, does Gary Broadbent.
Fullback did well there, Fielden trying to pinch the ball.
Brown wide it goes. Good ball then from Maloney out wide, but the defence had shuttled across. And Broadbent is hurt. Neat little run around though, Goulding looking busy. Blakely gets the ball away. They're in here. They are in with Warren Jowett. And what a moment for Warren Jowett against the Bradford Bulls, who let him go. And the response from Salford is immediate. Warren Jowett, formerly with the Bulls, a year at Wakefield in 2000, and Warren Jowett gets Salford right back in the hunt.
Played the power play, double run around, Bobby Goulding at his best, but this is a good run there from the second rower. Goulding will do the run around. Neat little switch there with Paul Southern, and the offload, and the second rower easily gets over the whitewash, and he's enjoying it every single second.
Well, he always likes to prove a point when he plays his former club. Now here is Bobby Goulding, and he's on the brink of a milestone here. All right, 5 goals in the year 2001. He needs 12 points for a career 2000. Check that, he now needs 10 points for a career 2000. And the scores are level at the Willows. Salford's promising start has borne fruit.
Great build-up. Superb run there. I said they were going far too high. Broadbent, who got injured in this incident, but they swept the ball out to the right and then they got it through. Great play from Bobby Goulding. The combination allowed this man, Warren Jowett, in for a vital try for the Reds. Oh, and that's a bad mistake.
Well, it's a swirling wind here tonight, and Henry Paul has hit it far too long. Didn't account for that, and the ball sails out on the full. That's a penalty to Salford on halfway.
Well, we said they had to get into their face. They would have to rattle this Bradford outfit. I mentioned before the kick-off, Eddie, that Brian Noble, fully aware that he could not be complacent coming here. He realises that this Salford outfit, they're pretty strong. The big question we asked, can Salford continue for the full 80 minutes?
Well, that is the big question. We shall see as time unfolds. And of course, a lot of talk yet again about Bradford going through the season undefeated this year, just as there was at this time last year, because they started in such blistering fashion in the year 2000. But to go through a season in Super League unbeaten, that's an impossibility.
One would think so. And I know one thing, that Brian Noble, the Bulls coach, will be getting the message out: stop going high. Quite a few of the players out there not keen to go low.
Paul Southern trying to spin in the tackle. The Irish international gets to his feet, and it's with Alker at dummy half. Here's Blakely. Salford continuing this promising start, and as I say, that Paul Heighton drops the ball. But was it a knock-on first by Bradford, as Salford are claiming? No, it wasn't.
Alker trying to get the ball away, back on the inside, but interference there. Definitely a knock-on by the loose forward Paul Heighton, who I thought perhaps wasn't looking for that football, didn't expect it.
Well, the wind blowing round here at the Willows, and If you think the players have got problems, we've got problems up here because a cup of coffee's just gone all over Steve-O. But he carries on gamely just the same.
I don't even like coffee.
No, I'm sorry, that's mine. So it's the Bradford Bulls, a quarter of an hour gone in possession with Vicona. Up the middle he goes, and referee gets them for a high tackle. Driscoll penalised by Robert Connolly.
He's been around a long time as this fella, no doubt about it. Straight into the face of the winger Vicona. A few words to say to the whistleblower, Robert Connolly, but he was spot on, was the man in charge.
Anderson on the charge again. Bradford getting to within 20 metres of the Salford line. Here's Vicona on the angled run. Halted by another good tackle. It's with Lowes, now it's with Forshaw, and Lowes again, and James Lowes looks at Mike Forshaw, and the plan just didn't quite come off.
A little bit too fancy there. See the hooker, he'll just take his eyes off the football. He was looking to see whether he was going to offload. Well, they're applying the pressure, and quite clearly Lowes looked elsewhere other than the football.
So Salford would come again with Broadbent, whose run it was, created the space and the territory for Salford to get over for their try. It's 6-all here at the Willows, and Bradford, for the time being anyway, they know they are in a bit of a battle. That ball has come out. What's the referee's decision here? Penalty to Salford.
Well, these are wonderful tactics, and Salford coach John Harvey must be extremely happy with things. I'm not so sure. Well, that was just play on. Now, lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, he tried to offload, didn't he?
Yeah.
Salford won't be complaining, though. They need every rub of the green against a team like this. One of the big four, of course, Bradford, with Leeds, St Helens, Wigan, expected to be contesting the semi-final series come the autumn. But we have a lot of football to be played throughout the course of this summer. Salford benefiting on the penalty count so far.
Well, the one forward in the Bradford pack that is working overtime is the prop forward Stuart Field, and he's getting some big hits in out there. Oh, that was a hard pass.
Well, it was a bullet of a pass, and Rigon got the tackle in on Francis Maloney.
Quick thinking from the fullback Stuart Spruce. He knew that the referee would have to play the advantage, and noticed, thought, well, there's no point in going down here and then getting a good wallop from the hooker, Malcolm Alka. He knew that referee Robert Connolly had seen the knock-on. Now they get the head and feet at the scrum.
Forshaw to his feet, plays the ball to James Lowes. Now it's Robbie Paul. Ball back on the inside, but Salford in defence swarming all over the top of Shane Rigon. And well, they might watch him. He got a hat-trick on the opening weekend against the Saints. Well, Salford doing really well in the opposing half of the minute, holding on to possession when they're in Bradford territory.
Well, the one thing that John Harvey did mention this year was that, oh, that's an awful mistake. It's got to be a knock-on. Well,
it came off his chin, I think the referee's saying, and Fielden's little dab to the corner will find a fire eventually. And Vicona was at him. A bit of a bang on the head as well, did Martin Afire. Now he's got them for offside, Bradford.
Well, what a mess-up. That'll be a knock-on.
No. Well, he's tapped it in because he tripped over my foot. That's why I lost possession. He tripped over my foot.
Oh, he's saying he tripped over the referee's foot.
Over my foot. That's why I lost possession. There's your mark. Yes.
Well, they're very fortunate there. I'm not so sure that Broadbent made a real meal of it to try to get a quick tap. Yep, maybe he's right. The ball hit the official. Well done, Robert Connolly. Well, I'll get it out eventually, Eddie, about the John Harvey's coach, that he said that the defence this season would be very, very big an improvement on last year. They were disappointing. He knows that.
Well, so far so good. Good ball too from Holker. Pinkney's away. Pinkney down the the ball forward, taken out by Henry Paul. The ball, though, is flicked out of the field of play by Stuart Spruce. But John Harvey, the coach, his tactics so far working perfectly, midway point of the first half.
Well, we said he had the speed, he also had the skill there. Just in and out, that's a good little kick there. The full-back has all the experience to say, let's get out of here.
Such a difference this year already for Salford. They've lost the likes of Makin, they've lost the likes of Baines and Michael Wainwright, but they have still got a very competitive 13 out there on the field.
It's quite skillful as well, Eddie. I mean, they've thrown this ball around. Blakely's having a very strong game indeed. Not the best pass, though.
And Naylor dived on it. That was knocked forward. Was Vicona offside? No, the referee says play on.
Well, they should have dropped on the ball there, Salford. Bit of a messy pass from Steve Blakely when they're in a very, very good attacking position. You can use the shoulder. There's nothing wrong with that. That was good work by Scott Naylor. When you're both running in the same direction, you're allowed to shoulder a man from the opposition.
It's with Anderson now. He tries to run over the top of that Salford defence to the halfway line. Lowe's will scamper away, finds Henry Paul. Now Henry Paul out the back door to brother Robbie. Robbie, though, is forced back again to halfway. Now he straightens it up, spinning, hitting and turning all the time, Bradford. But Salford defending stoutly. It's with Henry Paul, crossfield kick. He's looking for the winger out wide. Instead, all he found was Nick Pinkney.
Read it perfectly, did the winger. In a top game as well, Nick Pinkney. That run just earlier was superb, and so was the take. Well, the confidence must be oozing through this Salford Red side.
Yes, it's been an impressive opening 22 minutes or so. Let's see what Phil Clark makes of it at pitchside.
Well, there's a tremendous positive atmosphere emanating from the Salford dugout. I think they think it's a very strong start, especially in the defensive element. Of course, they've conceded that one try, which they were bitterly disappointed about. Defence being the element all week that the defensive coach Steve O'Neill has worked on. But they just know that the guys have got to carry on concentrating in this position of play now. They must stay tight in the middle, defending against this Bradford side, which counter-attacks so well.
And here they come now, counter-attacking with Vicona. Vicona, will he need any help? It arrives from Spruce, and Spruce tumbles down. He's not tackled, now he is. Did the ball come free? Broadbent was looking for something there, but they've got a golden opportunity here now, the Bulls. It's with Henry Paul. Away from one, stands and gets away from two, flicks the pass. Two men on the overlap out wide. Withers won't need him. Now then, Short is Withers. Play on. Short again, are they? Maloney. Has he held him up? Has he held Rigon up? No, the referee has given the try without reference to the video referee. Shane Rigon, who got 3 tries against St Helens on the opening weekend, comes up with another here at the Willows to give Bradford the lead once more.
Wonderful break from Vicona, set it all up. The Bulls realising get the ball out wide as quickly as possible. Vicona, a support play yet again from Stuart Spruce. The reason why Broadbent was claiming to the referee, he thought that he had finished the tackle off, kept it alive. Good work in the end. They did well to keep him out here. Quick thinking from Withers, didn't reach for it, and then he just sneaks in at the corner. Rigon is deemed to get the ball on the whitewash, and the spot on is the official, Robert Connolly. But good work from Vicona to start with. It was Withers who didn't panic. It looked as though Withers was going to perhaps go for a double movement. Not to be.
Well, Henry Paul missing with that conversion attempt, but Shane Rigon is an instant hero at Bradford.
Keeping the ball alive. Good work. Gartner outward, but look how Withers there says, no, I'm not going to make a movement. A lot of players often do. Good work from Rigon. Just caught Pinkney there. Quick play the ball. Came up with the goods.
Yes, he made his debut off the bench at Widnes in the Cup. Formerly with the Sydney Roosters, was a substitute in last year's grand final, Shane Rigon, and very much hero of the hour for Bradford at the moment. 4 tries in Super League. He's had a game and just about 25 minutes. Well, a competitive match, a much more competitive match than many people thought it was going to be. But Goulding with the kick-off, and underneath it is Vicona. And both coaches have made changes. And look at that, who's come on for the Bradford Bulls. Wangener and McDermott, two international class prop forwards. And here comes McDermott now.
Well, a little doubt in my mind, Brian Noble wants to shake his side up a little bit. He's got so much depth from the bench, of course, and trying to utilise them as quickly as possible. He wouldn't be happy, wouldn't Noble, with the defensive qualities. I said earlier that they were going far too high. The one thing that would please him, of course, is that both the tries, well, that won't please him. That's a knock-on.
He's off Spruce. He protests his innocence to Robert Connolly.
Not the best there. Did he get a fingertip to it?
No, he says it came off his knee, and on the evidence of that picture, he's got a case.
Yep. Oh, well, tit for tat, one either side now. But the one thing that Brian Noble will be happy about is the way that Bradford can charge from deep within their own half, get the ball out wide, so that indicates that Salford a little bit slow on the kick and chase department.
Francis Maloney, another of the new faces here at Salford this year. Certainly a much more competitive outfit than they were for much of last season. And here's Olker now, and he gets the pass away. It's Southern. Olker again. Goulding. Heighton takes over. Testing this Bradford defence, but it's on the last tackle. And here's Goulding once more. He punches the kick in. It's bounced off Jamie Peacock, and it's back to 0 in the tackle count.
No doubt that Peacock made an attempt at that. Good refereeing by Robert Connolly.
Chris Tassel retained possession for his team. Hancock gets to his feet. Olker, a dummy half. And now here is Andy Coley, the former Swinton Lion. 20 metres away from the line. It's with Goulding. Back it goes to Blakely. He straightens it up. Sure, a little gap, but McDermott, the elder statesman, and doing a wonderful job for Bradford, according to Brian Noble yesterday when I spoke to him. He got the tackle in, and Blakely is hurt.
Oh, big problems for the standoff. Blakely hardly moved. Looks like a knee injury. Maybe an ankle. He's limping. He's getting to it. Oh no, he can't even put weight on it. Good kick into the corner. Big mistake.
Withers, he's forced over the dead ball line anyway. And Blakely's in a bit of strife. But Withers,
they're applying the
a bit of pressure.
And they're applying the pressure all the time to the left wing. Obviously they feel that Withers is a bit of a weak link in the defensive qualities. This is the injury for the standoff. Durnett went low, Forshaw over the top. You could see the twist. Forshaw, big hit, twisted the body.
Blakely for the time being staying out there as Tassel drives the ball in again. There is Blakely trying to run the injury off. They do have Graham Holroyd on the bench though, a ready-made standoff replacement if needed. This is Michael Hancock, the tackle by James Lowes. Olker is the dummy half. He looks inside and finds Southern, who stretched out to collect that.
That looked a slight forward pass there.
Olker. Here's Darren Brown again. Good ball, Tassel! Tassel! Looking to get over the line and is forced back. Well, they are so close and 2 tackles remaining. It's with Goulding. He gives it out to Blakely. Blakely wide it goes. Brilliant pick-up off the floor. That was Maloney.
Fantastic take. Dipping all the way.
Goulding off the outside of the boot, too deep.
He'll be disappointed, little Bobby, with that one. But they're applying the pressure. And that must be pleasing for the Salford fans and their coach, John Harvey. They've acquitted themselves very well indeed.
Very spirited so far from Salford. Good play here, though, on show from Bradford. Forshaw taking it on. Just over the halfway line, but enveloped by 3. Olker snuck out from underneath the grounded player there. Forshaw gets to his feet. Plays the ball to Lowes. Here's Wangener, the big Kiwi.
You made it sound like Malcolm Alker just popped up like a mushroom there, Eddie.
Well, he's nearly buried. Oh, here's Robbie Paul. Out wide it goes, Rigon. Good hands to Withers. Withers backing himself, but a good defensive tackle again from Gary Broadbent. Robbie Paul again. Spruce onto Henry. Then back it goes, and McDermott trying to get his way to the line, but he's just held up short once again. Lowe's under pressure from the defence, still there, Lowe's,
He scored.
He's over the line. And the referee hands it on to the video referee, checking for a double movement, is he?
See if it was back to one. They just check the ground of the ball.
Was it back to one, as he called it? And he wants to check the grounding of the ball.
Well, he scored there anyway. He's got it first time. And I think the referee, Robert Connolly, wants to see whether he got it down on the second occasion. But for mine, TRY time, it was back to one. No doubt about it. Bobby Goulding.
Well, he was offside anyway, Goulding, wasn't he? Well, certainly wasn't standing square, was he? No, he's at the side.
Well, according to the referee, he hasn't given the penalty. Why should he? He's just played the advantage. That is where it was back to the sixth tackle, back to the first tackle.
So there's nothing wrong with
Set
that.
of six. That's this will be a try. But you can see there, Bobby Goulding playing in 16. It's actually 1 + 6. You see the little plus sign in between the two numbers, but I think that 1 + 6, it won't be 7, but they'll certainly get 6 here. I don't think they'll miss the conversion. No doubt about it in my mind, TRY. I think they'll give it for the first attempt, not the second.
Well, has Jimmy Lowe's pinched one here for the Bulls, right on the line?
Yeah, on the whitewash. It was sufficient for Rigon, and it will be sufficient for Mr. Lowe's. He knows how to sneak them.
He's a poacher, isn't he?
He's devastating anywhere near the line, not just scoring tries, but creating them. And that's another to his tally.
On this, his 150th appearance for Bradford. Captain against Wakefield last week. Robbie Paul was the substitute. Now Robbie's brother Henry is lining up the conversion of James Lowe's try. 72 tries now for the Bulls, and this is his 150th appearance. Henry Paul wastes no time in adding the conversion, and Bradford are ahead by 16-6.
Fantastic strike rate from James Lowe's. Just under the average of scoring 1 try every 2 games. That is a strike rate that even wingers throughout our game would be proud of. He knows the way to the try line, that is for sure.
And like Stuart Spruce, 5 tries in 5 games for the Bradford Bulls this year already. 16-6. Now it's a test of the Salford resilience. It's a test of their mettle. Spruce flicked that ball back in. It was heading out on the bounce. And that's why Vicona collected it and took the tackle from Tassel. Here is Naylor now.
Well, John Harvey would have got the message out, saying, look, 16-6, they're still not out of it. Quick score again. Psychological blow, of course, but they did come back after that first try from Spruce. And it's so important now that the Reds try to get the possession, but they'll not get it by doing that.
No, that's a rule that has been reinforced by the Rugby League this year, that anyone straddling the man as he tries to get to his feet to play the ball will be penalised, and Robert Connolly blowing the whistle in the strict letter of the law there. So Bradford back on the attack.
And it's a good ruling as well, no more piggyback. That's the reason why the penalty was given.
Good movement now from Bradford, and it's Henry Paul. On it goes to Peacock, and he just sidesteps away from Blakely. Peacock is through Broadbent, and that's a great try from Jamie Peacock. The man who burst onto the scene in 2000, Peacock, and he burst onto the scene here at the Willows tonight. He just skated to the line.
Well, any three-quarter would be proud of this. Just a simple run around. Notice how the dummy runners came back on the inside. But that was an easy step on the inside. And then look at that. Not the best position, an attempted tackle by Gary Broadbent. Let's not take anything away, though. As I mentioned, the simple run around. Not the best, though. Remember, Steve Blakely picked up a knock earlier. No excuse, though. He won't mind. He's back to his best.
Jamie Peacock, 4 England performances in that World Cup and 6 World Cup tries, and his first score for the Bulls this year. Henry Paul has quickly lined up his sights for the conversion attempt, and Henry Paul adds the extras. 22 points to 6. Bradford suddenly in charge of this match. 3 tries in 11 minutes.
Just watch how they keep the ball moving there. Use of the dummy runner. He stepped back inside on Blakely. But that was so easy. Gary Broadbent will not want to watch that too often.
But he will, Jamie Peacock.
I think John Harvey will as well.
Yeah, well, I noticed that Blakely, who was one of the men who missed the tackle, I think he's now been replaced, and Graham Holroyd is out there for Salford. But maybe the change just coming a few minutes too late, because Blakely was obviously a passenger and was struggling in defence then. Here's Wangener, straight into the chest of Alker, and the young hooker stood his ground well.
It was a big gamble by Harvey to leave Steve Blakely out there. And when there was so much ease that the big fella Peacock just went around him.
Forshaw beat Alker first time, but he didn't beat him second time. And he had a little bit of help and assistance as well from one of his big forwards. But Bradford now looking to keep this ball alive, and it's with Peacock. He's got Holroyd around him. In comes the reinforcements. Andy Coley is there.
There's no point in Bradford now trying to have an arm wrestle. They've got to try to keep the ball alive. That will be deemed as a knock-on.
Ironic cheers from the Salford public.
Little doubt about it. McDermott just get a fingertip to it. Oh no, it came off the chest either way. Deemed as a knock-on.
So here's Holroyd, first touch of the football for him since he came on to replace Steve Blakely. Missed tackles for Salford. The count is rising, which will be an area of concern for John Harvey as Paul Southern goes down on the halfway line. Malcolm Alker, the dummy half, and here is Coley again. Already with Swinton, but just 10 appearances in the last 2 years for the Lions. Castleford Wigan, tomorrow evening at 6, is over on Sky Sports 1. Trust you'll join us for that. Salford trying to do what Castleford will be trying to do tomorrow, to try and halt one of the big 4. But at the moment, Salford, with 3 tries in 11 minutes scored against them, it's just gone slightly off the rails after a very promising start. And that was forward from Henry Paul.
Certainly was. Just delayed it a little bit too long. Disappointing. So early in the tackle count, just drifted away as Hancock came into him. But what a big hit from Shane Rigon, the centre. It was a wonderful ball and all tackle, and that's the reason why Salford spilt the football. No, it's so important now for the Reds to get on that score sheet before half-time.
Great tackle from Rigon on Maloney, and as Maloney went to play the ball, Rigon had another little snap at him, could have been penalised. Referee's patience holds though. Pinkney gets to his feet, plays it to Alker. Alker then infield to Southern, and as Southern is hit by Henry Paul, a big groan from the big prop forward. Here is Coley again, driving forward.
That's a big advantage that Bradford have. Scott Naylor, Shane Rigon especially, has added a lot of strength to their defence out wide.
Here is Chris Tassett, he's got Brian McDermott all over him. That's the last tackle for Salford. Darren Brown, the dummy half. Goulding, 1+6 as Steve O'Sesson is back with the kick. But I'm afraid it's 1+ far too strong from Bobby Goulding.
Raises the arm, acknowledges the fact that it wasn't the best. Well, early in the game they were kicking a lot better than this, applying the pressure to Michael Withers out on that left wing. But slowly but surely the Bulls have just taken control of this game. They have not panicked.
The ball at Vita Vicona disappears now. With more from Australia for you on Sky Sports 2 tomorrow. Penrith against Canterbury, Saturday 2:30 Sky Sports 2, don't miss that. Latest match for you from the NRL in Australia. Off the ground, Henry Paul gets the ball away to Tevita Vaikona. James Lowes with a little dab kick to the in-goal area, but too strong, and Broadbent allows the ball to run dead. Well, this first match of a big 24 hours for rugby league fans on Sky Sports. This today, and 2 more for you Saturday.
Big mistake from Michael Hancock,
who was running around in the NRL this time last year.
Took the gamble getting the ball out wide. It was just drifting away. Plenty of quality, plenty of class there from Michael Hancock, but not on that occasion. Bad mistake.
So it's with Robbie Paul. Scampering run. Oh, and they've melted away from him. He's in. And it was a good job that Broadbent and Goulding and Coley came back to cut him down, but I think Robbie Paul was already celebrating and putting the ball down under the sticks then.
Well, they're hanging off this Bradford side now. Early in the game they were moving in, getting into their faces. You can see their defence is standing back.
And once Bradford get a roll on,
well, you can't allow this sort of latitude for them.
Lowes to Henry Paul, it goes wide to Robbie Paul, back on the inside. Oh, it was touched, it's going to be back to 0 in the tackle count. It is. The referee wipes the count clean. Henry Paul gives it to Withers, and Withers goes for the line. He's held up 5 metres short. Couple of tackles left, maybe. Lowes might not need to.
Just short.
This is the last chance then for a try in this first half, if Lowes can disentangle himself. And this will be the last play of this first half, one would imagine. And a kick wide from Henry Paul. Patted back by Vaikona, flicked forward by Naylor. Forshaw had it. And the timekeeper has blown the half-time siren. And that's the end of the action in this first half. Naylor almost over the line with Forshaw right at the death. But before that, 4 tries from Bradford. Spruce gave them the lead on 9 minutes. It was level pegging after 12 thanks to former Bradford man Warren Jowett. 6 underway. And it'll be interesting to see, Steve-o, what tactics John Harvey employs to try and keep Bradford within the Salford City Red sights.
Well, I think they'll try shock tactics like they did in the first half, but Brian Noble, I'm sure, would have said to his charges, look, let's just absorb them for the first opening 10. I think he knows by now that perhaps the Bulls have the fitness to just overcome anything that Salford throw back in this second half, but 2 quick tries from Salford, anything could happen.
Great ball on the inside was from Robbie Paul. He brought Gartner into it. He was tackled by Brown. Lowes is the dummy half. It's Henry Paul. He shows it then to Peacock, and Peacock's grounded on halfway by Chris Tassel. Lowes at dummy half again to Henry Paul. Inside it goes to McDermott, and McDermott has to take the tackle from Chris Tassel once again. Good set of 6 here from Salford. Last one. Lowes with a little chip over the top, looking for open space. Collected though on the full by Pinkney, and Salford will try and counter-attack. And a good little run from Pinkney too. Let's go downstairs, see what was said in the dressing rooms at half-time. Here's Bill Arthur.
Salford City Reds coach John Harvey was happy with the performance of his side for most of that first 40 minutes, and just ruining a couple of missed tackles and a couple of sloppy situations, allowing Bradford to capitalise. But he was proud of the way they gave it to Bradford, and they've got a penalty there as well, Salford. That'll help them, and the City Reds are really hoping for a strong start to this second half to try and rattle Bradford again, as they did in that first half. Brian Noble, for his part, and his coaching team were not happy with their first 40 minutes, and Noble is looking for a big improvement in ball control from his side. He reckons they could put some more points on the board against his Salford side, but they're going to have to work for it. It's not going to come easy.
Well, Salford are in possession, and it's with Alker, and he's broken 2 tackles, and he tries to get away from Spruce, and he does so. He offloads to Maloney, and Maloney will attack down the right-hand side, but the defence is there in numbers. Gartner with the tackle on that occasion. Alker, the dummy half, to Goulding. Goulding then to Andy Coley, and Coley gets it to Maloney, and almost away, but Withers has got the interception, and Withers down the touchline is taking them on. Withers has got to back himself. Across comes the cover. Brown is there. Fabulous tackle from the Salford skipper. That's a try saver. Withers thought he was celebrating, but Darren Brown refused refused to give up the chase. What a tackle from the Salford City Reds captain, and they're all over him, slapping him on the back.
Outstanding play there by the skipper. But good work there from Withers. He read it perfectly. He could see the cover defence coming over. He ins and outs, but he's not gonna get past that fella. Superb low tackle. Look at this. Head behind the body. Sheer perfection. That'll lift them.
Well, that was an inspirational moment from their captain. Refused to wave the white flag and must have made 25 metres up on Michael Withers, who is no slouch. And that has lifted the Salford crowd, and it's maybe lifted the players. Fire gets to his feet. Olker's the dummy half. There is Brown again. He hands it on to Paul Heighton. And Robbie Paul is down and is clutching the ribs as the kick from Holroyd comes in. It's a super kick. That's a 40-20. This will be head and feed to the Salford City Reds.
Just what the doctor ordered. Great facet of his game, of course, Graham Holroyd. In his days at Leeds, he was noted for this huge kick, and it is one.
Well, that's why John Harvey brought him to the Willows last year, but he missed so much of the season because of injury. But that will have warmed the cockles of John Harvey's heart. And now can they make that count? Holroyd hands it on to Hancock. And Hancock, good tackle by Henry Paul in the end, gets to his feet. Salford on a little bit of a roll here. It's with Broadbent. This is a golden opportunity for them to post points early in this second half. And that Darren Brown tackle really has lifted the Salford City Reds visibly. Heighton, he's got Robbie Paul all over him, and Danny Gartner helps to finish him off. They're 10 metres away from the line though with Olker. Now it's with Goulding, a scampering crossfield run, so typical of Goulding. Beautiful ball back to Holroyd. Holroyd for the line, but just held up short.
Super pass from Goulding, delayed it right to the end. Holroyd goes short.
Little dab towards the in goal from Goulding again, but he's not quite got his sights set. But they were so close then to the first point of this second half.
Fully deserved a try. Wonderful effort. Well, they're not throwing the towel in, that is for sure, and he knows it too, does John Harvey. As Eddie just mentioned, what a lift it's been there. Skipper's knock, wonderful tackle by Darren Brown and Withers. And it's things like that that can just turn the game your way.
Here's Vicona now. Lowe's again, the dummy half. Jamie Peacock, first half try scorer. Tried to step inside Chris Tassel, but the reinforcements were there. On halfway, Lowe's. Gartner again. Regon had come on his inside, but he couldn't get the ball away to him, so Gartner is tackled standing up. Lowe's, Robbie Paul, Henry, McDermott. Holroyd with the tackle eventually, the last this set of 6 for the Bradford Bulls. Henry Paul, well, that's a weighted kick, or at least he tried to weight it, but it skipped away.
Certainly weighted. Heavy. Far too much heavy. Well, the Reds really need something. That'll be a penalty, surely it is.
Yes, they've got the penalty, Salford.
Well, we knew that the Reds would come out firing, and little doubt that Joe Vangenaert interfered there. But can they get the score that they need?
Great signing by Bradford, Joe Vangenaert, one of the stars of the New Zealand team in the World Cup. Well played. That was good play there from Southern. Here comes Broadbent.
Well, that's the second occasion that Vangenaert been involved with messing around at the play of the ball. He's out there to add all that weight. Got to be careful, doesn't give away another penalty.
Here's Darren Brown again. They are giving away a few penalties, and it's now with Holroyd. And Holroyd turns away from 2, gets away from Vangenaert, but can't get away from the next man in, who's James Lowe's.
Good work there from Graham Holroyd, but he was looking for support. There was no second phase in attack.
Michael Hancock, such a difficult man to put down, but Forshaw managed it then. Alker to Goulding. Here he is again, bringing the man back on the inside. Alker! Just short again, but still a couple of tackles up their sleeve. Martin Afire, the dummy half, looping pass to Coley. Wide it goes then to Tassel. He grew a few inches to keep that in. And now it's with Goulding, who will hoist the kick out wide, looking for Pinckney. Withers is there. Withers claims it.
Stood his ground well there, did Michael Withers. He had to as well. Pinpoint accuracy there. I'm not so sure that Rigon didn't take out Nick Pinckney in that passage of play.
Oh, now the pressure eases, because Rigon was fouled by Alker.
Rigon, don't go looking for it. Okay.
He certainly stepped up a gear as the hooker, Malcolm Alker, just a little bit over-exuberant there.
Keep it out, mate, don't need it.
You see, he just pushed him. It's a new edict, can't interfere, but I must say Salford were badly done to there. I thought that Shane Rigon definitely took Pinckney out when the kick was coming.
It was read the other way by Robert Connolly, so that's why Bradford are in possession. But it's an enthusiastic start again to this second half from the Salford City Reds, and good tackle on McDermott. Let's have a look at it again. Well, yes, he
definitely took the man out without the football. And that's where the touch judges really have to help the man in the middle. You can't really point the finger at Robert Connolly. He was about 40 metres away. Touch judge wasn't.
Last tackle here for Bradford. They're running it with Peacock and now Henry Paul, and wide it goes to Naylor. That was off the legs. Oh, and he could be offside there.
No, he's obviously thought accidental offside. They both were going for the football. The advantage to the Reds. Well, I don't think that Martin Afire came, I think, behind, but Martin Afire didn't go for that ball. He did on the second occasion, but the kick first ricocheted off his leg.
And then Darren Brown picked it up, and it was questionable whether he was just in front, but certainly the run came from behind Afire for the first dig at the football by this fella. Anyway, he got benefit of the doubt from the referee.
Well, again, we see the Reds becoming quite creative early in this half. They did exactly the same thing at the start of this game.
Good hands. It's with Pinckney, who's got a bit of space.
Oh, they had 2-on-1, and he passed it to the Bradford player. Well, he slowed down, did Pinckney, to commit himself there, and that was good work from Joe Wangener.
Here is Peacock. Peacock has thrown away. He's got Vicona on his outside. He went the wrong way.
Doesn't matter. He kept his cool. And when you've got a second row that can just ease through the defence like that, he's a talent. He really has come of age, this guy.
And he's not happy. He's not happy. It's a blood bin for Andy Coley. I thought for a moment that he'd been penalised for the tackle, but it's a blood bin. Andy Coley is on his way to the blood bin. There's nothing wrong with the tackle. He just dragged him to the floor, and it will be a play the ball here for the Bradford Bulls as Rigon goes off with a bloody nose.
Well, to be fair, Coley just looked at the referee. I think he thought that it was going to be off.
Did I say Rigon off then with a bloody nose? Coley off with a bloody nose. This is Forshaw now for Bradford. Now Lowe's at dummy half. Robbie to Henry. On the burst came Fielden, and that's the last tackle.
Well, it's so cold out there, Eddie. It's amazing that anything will run tonight.
Stabbed through by Henry Paul, is collected by Broadbent. And every time we see Gary Broadbent, Steve-O, he performs well at fullback.
He's got great positional sense. He reads the game exceptionally well.
An underrated young man is Gary Broadbent.
Certainly has, though. As I mentioned earlier, there's only one black spot in that first half when he didn't make a great attempt on Peacock when he went over for the try, but that's his only blemish so far. As you say, he's worked very, very hard tonight.
Here's Chris Tassel, and away comes Darren Brown, and Pinckney again has got space ahead of him. And will he pass to the right colour this time? Oh, he lost it, but it went back. Well, I was going to say it went backwards. He's given him a knock-on, though.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. the body language was going the angle. You can't see it from the head on there.
Stuart Spruce was keen to appeal, but Pinkney just shakes his head. So Bradford with the possession from the scrum, and here now it's Gilmore.
Again, it just emphasises the quality that Bradford have on the bench. That was good work by Tavita Vicone. He could see that a Salford player was injured. Took the short side.
Spruce on the bounce to McDermott. This Salford defence is scrambling at the moment to keep the Bulls out. Robbie Paul. Great ball to Rigon. He's through two. He's still going, Rigon. Such strength. Heightened round his ankles. Pinkney over the top. This is the last. And Lowe's looking to pinch one. And forced back by the Salford defence. Well played. It's not the last. This is the last. My miscount. Robbie. On to Withers and then Henry Paul. And Forshaw's dropped it. That went forward. It was on the last. That's the turnover.
That was great work by Darren Brown. Superb ball and all tackle. You could see they were doing a little fancy bit of footwork there, then the delayed off layoff, but it was an absolute super tackle from Brown. Well, he's leading by example, that is for sure.
Well, as we were at half-time, 22 points to 6. And John Harvey, who cleaned out his squad during the summer, the squad he during the winter rather, the squad he inherited from Andy Gregory 2 years ago. He's desperate to emulate the 6th place that they achieved in their first year back in the big time in 1997 under Andy Gregory, who, by the way, I saw this week. He was at a function that Warrington hosted on Monday, and Andy Gregory, I can tell you, the former Salford coach, now in charge of Wigan St Patrick's, in fine fettle. More than we can say about Francis Maloney with that pass.
Well, they just decided to offload at the moment that Pinkney was coming back on the inside. Just a misunderstanding. Doesn't look too impressed, Brian Noble, but he'll be happy with the scoreline at 22-6. I think he realised that Salford would really give a good account of themselves early in the second half. And this is where Bradford normally have the ability to keep the ball going out wide. They've got so much strength. They wear the opposition down.
And they have that ability to offload in almost impossible situations. This is Gilmore. "10 metres inside the Salford half. Forshaw gets the ball away to Withers. A good opening 16 minutes or so from Salford. It was in the first half too. Can they hang on?
Well, it's getting to the point now where James Lowe's perhaps will start controlling things. A little bit more running from the dummy half.
Robbie Paul gives it to Fielden. He stands and offloads to McDermott, and McDermott, well, he's wrestled to the ground eventually. That's 4 tackles gone. Now Lowe's from dummy half. He just delayed. And so did the Salford defence, almost fatally, but it's on the last. Robbie Paul. Henry Paul. Here is Peacock. There is a try. Second try for Jamie Peacock. Well, just as happened in the first half, Salford stood up to be counted early, and Bradford, they get first blood in the second 40.
Well, this is a youngster that really blitzed them last season, and when they discussed his ability to go over and score the tries, he said, well, that's all I have to do. I can't understand why people are getting so excited about it. I'm out there to do a job, and boy oh boy, he certainly does that so well, doesn't he? Got the talent, the speed and the skill of a three-quarter, but the upper body strength of a forward, and that is what counts. He's running out wide, he's quite superb.
Well, he got 3 tries. It was a career first hat-trick against Salford in that rout last June, did Jamie Peacock. He's got 2 here tonight. And Henry Paul adds 2 more to the total. 28 points to 6 now.
Back on the inside, read it perfectly. The delayed pass from Henry Paul was superb. Quick thinking. We talk about the upper body strength. Gary Broadbent trying to take ball and all tackle, but he just brushed him away. What a talent.
Well, what a team of talents. We've mentioned that Vangenaar, Gilmore, McDermott have come off the bench for Bradford. Now here's another international, Paul Deacon. He is on the field, and he is distinctive in the white scrum cap as Stuart Fielden takes the tackle, wants to get on with the play and does so. There's first touch for Paul Deacon, and he steps inside. Darren Brown launches another attack, back on the inside it comes. Oh, it was so close for Spruce. Just couldn't take the pass in.
Wonderful break there. Paul Deacon back on the inside. Paul got it to the fullback. Stuart Spruce playing out of his skin tonight. He just has that wonderful knack of reading the play, coming at the right time, right down the middle.
What a first touch though from Paul Deacon. Another one of the youngsters who benefited to some tune from the World Cup last October.
Well, you've got to say the same about young Peacock too.
Yes, indeed, there are a few, and you mentioned people like Chev Walker and Kevin Sinfield, who is currently lighting up affairs at Headingley. They've all benefited from that tournament. All right, England going out badly in the semi-finals, but something for the national coach to build on. Now then, who's your man of the match? You have to agree tonight with Phil Clark and Steve-O. 09009 10 10 13. Oh, of course, and Stuart Raper, we better not forget him. Now, that's the number in the UK as we watch here. And was he taken out again there?
Well, he's got to be penalised on this occasion. That's the second time that Shane Rigon has been involved in an incident where they're careering for the line. Bobby wants to get on with it.
He's given him 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Shove it in the tackle. Off he goes.
Well,
it's Rigon who's gone.
He missed it the first time. And Rigon took Nick Pinkney out, and he has earned himself a 10-minute.
He was offside, but he never interfered.
Little doubt. You mentioned in the first half you can use your shoulder, but you certainly can't use your arms and push like that.
Well, they've now got a one-man advantage, Salford City Reds, and Shane Rigon is just jogging his way to the sideline. Referee Robert Connolly waiting till he leaves the field. Now they'll start again. No. So it's Holroyd on to Brown, pass fired wide to Broadbent. Gilmore is after him. Gilmore gets to him with the tackle. Martin a fire at dummy half. Here now is Michael Hancock. Good defence from Bradford, forcing the Australian back.
The big problem though, Michael Hancock getting that ball too flat. He really has to start running onto the football.
Tassel nearly dropped it. And it's a penalty, high tackle. So they're taking it quickly. Here is Holroyd. It comes wide to Heighton. This is a big test of this Bradford defence. And this now is a drive in by Driscoll.
Play on.
Bradford have got it back.
Oh, he did well there.
With the time to allow the ball to bounce, and now Gilmore is spinning away, and Gilmore taking them on, steps out of the challenge and bounces his way to the halfway line. Great run from Lee Gilmore.
Well, that'll do wonders for the confidence of Gilmore. Trouble with injuries for so long. But that was Gilmore back to his best.
Vicona with the brute strength.
Surely they'll use the link now. Deacon screaming for the football. They've gone the short side.
With Fielden, who tries to drive his way over the top of Jowett. Fielden plays the ball, unhappy with Holroyd's second challenge. Deacon from Henry Paul. Oh, right shamozzle.
Well, a little bit too fancy there. And he really should have taken that. This is the sin bin incident. You see that Pinkney's had a rough ride against Rigon. Mentioned earlier that he missed it, or all the officials did, when Rigon took Pinkney out. Not on that occasion though, well spotted by Robert Connolly.
Well, when all that was going on, we were also telling you about the man of the match vote and the lines now being open. And there are the numbers for you: 09009 10 10 30 in the UK, and 1550 92 35 56 in the Republic of Ireland. 2 grand final tickets up for grabs if you can agree with the choice of Stuart Raper, Steve Owen, Phil Clark, who we visit now for a view from the sideline. Phil, what's it look like from your standpoint?
Well, a similar look for the Salford side. They started the first 15 minutes of this half so well, keeping the ball alive, supporting up down the middle as Alka tries to make some space there. But really they've tired, haven't they, over the last few minutes, and they've now got to find another gear as Goulding runs at the line. Maintaining playing with that same creativity that they played in the early stages of the first half, asking questions of the Bradford defence and really keeping the ball alive.
And remember, they have the one-man advantage numerically, and Holroyd, that's beautiful play, and the support was there from Jowett. He turns it inside. Oh, and the flick pass with the boot, maybe it should have been dropped on, but they've given it away now by Kona, and there's a Spruce is flat out.
He's in a bit of bother. So bad the attendants are running straight out, and rightly so.
Clash of heads, was it? Bobby Goulding not waiting to find out. It's with Pinkney, and Pinkney trying to go round Withers, halted by Withers and Paul. It's all hands to the pumps in defence then for Bradford. They're 2-man disadvantage as the drive comes in again from Driscoll for Salford. They're 7 metres away from the line. Spruce receiving treatment in back play as Goulding fires the pass to Holroyd. Holroyd,
bad mistake.
Well, he and Jowett got in each other's way then. And Spruce, by the looks of things, is all right.
Well, that's great to see. At one moment, he was completely out of it. Real mix-up between Jowett and Graham Holroyd there. Jowett thought he was going to be utilised as the dummy runner.
Spruce back on his feet, luckily.
Great to see that.
He didn't move, did he?
Oh, he just went down like a sack of potatoes.
So for a moment they were reduced to 11 men, but now it's to 12. They still have Shane Rigon on the bench.
Well, I must apologise to Stuart Spruce. He really isn't that big, is he? A small bag of onions then.
Keeping you up to date tonight with events elsewhere, and Leeds have eased into the lead against Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. 30 points to 14, and the news is that Tony Carroll has run in 4 tries for the Rhinos. And St Helens 32, Huddersfield 22. Brave effort again from Tony Smith's Giants, but after an hour they trail by 10. Here at the Willows, the Salford Reds, another brave display in the second half, but they trail by 22. It's 28 points to 6, and about 65 minutes on the watch now.
Well, Stuart Fielding just losing the possession on that occasion, but it's wonderful to see these Bradford forwards looking to twist in the tackle and try to offload.
The drive from Damien Driscoll again. The dummy half was Alker, and here now is Southern to drive the ball in. He flicked it back and he got away with it. That's his tackle.
Penalty. 2 on 1. Now then, will Salford stand a little bit deep? They've been far too flat in attack.
Well, they're not taking the opportunity of 2. No point in this situation. They need 6. And Southern gets to his feet and plays it to Walker. On the charges, Driscoll again. Underneath the sticks, 2 tackles gone. Can Bradford hang on again? A big test of their defence as Goulding changes the direction of the attack.
Jowett going close.
Got to try in the first half. Alka trying to pinch one, and Alka's over, and is he held up?
On his back.
Referee will hand it on to the video referee. Alka gets a slap on the back from his teammates. They believe he's scored. Robert Connolly's first impression is that he was held up, but this will tell us, and the video referee will decide.
I don't think he got it down. They're spinning him all the time. Now then, they've got to deem when this tackle is gone. Now this could be a penalty, 2 on 1. Did Alka lose it, or was it stolen? It's certainly NOTRY. It's how we bring the game back into play that the video referee will be looking for.
No try, but the scrum feed goes to the attack.
Deemed he was held up over the line.
And it was on the third tackle, you can hear referee Robert Connolly saying in the background. That's why it's head and feed to the Salford City Reds. They get reward for getting across the line, even though they didn't score. They get the possession from this scrum via Goulding onto Holroyd. Holroyd wide, it goes to Hancock. Hancock back to O'Fire, and great defence from Henry Paul. Well, this is immense pressure on the Bradford line, but so far they've stood firm. Can they here with Maloney? The answer, yes.
The Reds have got to work as a unit.
Look at the possession that Salford have had in the opposition half. Goulding, good ball to Heighton. Heighton.
Oh, great work from Mike Forshaw there.
3 tackles gone, still 3 to go as Olka gives it width to Holroyd. And Holroyd, well, he tried to stand them up, but it was good defence from McDermott.
That's one aspect that Brian Noble will be pleased about. They've been put on the rack. Oh, great try!
That was Goulding's kick, and Southern with the... Well, the referee has held it on again. He's handed it on.
Check to be sure it was the offside. Secondly, check to be sure he got the ball correctly, please.
Well, the high shot will show that he's okay. He's onside. Little doubt about that. Now then, did he get it down? He was certainly being spun over in the tackle. Great little kick. Now, does he get it down? No, he doesn't. Oh, wonderful play there by Paul Deacon.
Well, that's fantastic defence from
Try
Deacon.
score. That was just there for him. Well, Alka, a no try. And yet again, this will be an OTRY. Second effort by the substitute Paul Deacon. He made a break as soon as he touched the ball when he came off the bench, but I think all the Reds know it's NO.
It is NOTRY, and well done to Paul Deacon, and hard luck to Paul Southern. They have been over the line twice. They've been held up over the line, and they get the possession from almost exactly the same position once again, and Goulding on once more to Holroyd. This pressure on Bradford is immense, and remember, they're down to 12 men. They've got Shane Rigon in the sin bin as Jowett drives it in again towards that line. Salford swarming forward in attack, looking for some reward with Holroyd. Wide it goes again to Pinkney, and Pinkney will bring it back. They're losing ground with Pinkney. Now he'll straighten it up surely. Showed it to O'Fire, carried on his own, and he's all on his own on that far side. They have lost so much territory. O'Fire trying to bust his way through. Flying tackle by Fielden. Quick play the ball to Olka. Over the head of Goulding to Holroyd, knock on, and Bradford survive.
Well, he got to the ball with his right hand, and I think, just the same as what Holroyd is, that he brought it back to him, not forward. I think he's been badly done to there. Either way, it's a let-off for the Bradford Bulls. Well, the one thing that John Harvey, the Salford Red coach, did say, we mentioned in the first half, Eddie, that he wanted to gain respect. Even the top sides would find it very difficult to come here. And they've made a great fist of it, you know, in the second half of the Reds.
The formidable shape of Paul Anderson has come on for Bradford in the place of Brian McDermott, who's in the blood bin, and Stuart Littler has come on for Salford, I notice, and Michael Hancock, the Australian import, has gone off. Bradford, well, I lost count of the number of tackles they had to weather there. There were certainly 3 or maybe 4 sets of 6, but the 12 men stood firm, and that will please their coach Brian Noble. Here is Gilmore.
Not half as much of the fact that John Harvey will have looked at that and said, well, at least we can split one of the best defences in the Super League.
That ball bounced back kindly. Here is Rigon, he's back on the field with us with the hack forward, looking for Gardner, only found Broadbent. Gardner got the tackle in, and Bradford now back up to the full complement of 13 for the last 10.5 minutes are looking to ram their advantage home. Oh, they're playing football under the sticks.
Another hospital pass there.
Paul Heighton held on somehow. Good job he did as well. Here is Warren Jowett.
Well, the Bulls are becoming a little bit frustrated. I think everybody here, I'm sure a lot of the viewers at home, thought perhaps that the Reds would tire just like they did in the last 20 minutes of the first half, but they are really giving it all they've got.
It's Tassel. Gets to his feet. Ulker clapping his hands at dummy half. We're on the last tackle here. And Holroyd will put the kick in wide, looking for Pinkney. That's a great kick. It bounces off Pinkney's knees. Now it bounces off his fingertips.
It's play on.
It's play on.
Out. It does now.
Now it's on the last tackle, no advantage, even though the Bradford Bulls had the possession. So it's back to the turnover where the mistake occurred. 09 009 10 10 13 in the UK. 1550 92 35 56. Agree with our panel, Steve-O, Stu Raper and Phil Clark. You could be off to the grand final at Old Trafford. The grand final of Tetley's Super League 6 at Old Trafford on October the 13th. And Bradford would love to be there. Forshaw, flick pass. Here's Spruce.
Good crisscross there from the Bulls.
And here's Peacock. On a hat-trick, Jamie Peacock searching for it with that driving run. Releases the ball to Spruce. He knocks it back to Withers. And now it's Salford's turn again to scramble in defence. James Lowes, Stuart Fielden. Fielden underneath the sticks. On the last tackle. Will Lowes try and pinch one? Give it to Anderson. 4 points. Unstoppable from that range. Paul Anderson with a try underneath the posts. And that will wrap the match up well and truly for the Bradford Bulls.
Well, before the game, Warren Jowett, the Salford Reds second rower, said that he was a softie. Nothing soft about this. Charging through. Good combination. How many times have we seen James Lowes use that move? Comes on the arc, and with strength like that. He's a powerhouse.
Such a big man, Paul Anderson, and had a wonderful year last year. 6'2", 19 stone 10. If he was running at me, I'd turn the other way. 34-6, because Henry Paul has added the extras.
I said I'd clap and cheer and yell with joy.
What, if he was running at me or if he went over the line? He's such a big man, and from 5 metres out at about 25 mile an hour is completely and utterly unstoppable.
25 miles an hour?
At least.
You amaze me sometimes. You've calculated out the distance.
Absolutely. And the speed. It's all by radar. You see, here he goes again. About 26 mile an hour on that occasion.
Well, let's see how much he's got left in the tank.
Lowes inside to Fielden. How much have Bradford got left in the tank? They've got 6.5 minutes. They've got a penalty. Heighton with hands in at the play of the ball.
That's
another of the deadly sins this year.
That's a sign of a tired outfit. He knows it true. He's worked hard though as a loose forward, Heighton. Certainly giving his best shot. And why some people will perhaps look at the score line eventually of this game and perhaps think that it was a runaway for the Bulls. It has not been.
It's been anything but that.
They've got to fight hard, haven't they?
They have, and here's Withers. He's got Deacon with him. And Deacon steps inside a couple. It bounces kindly. Withers under the sticks. Another try for Bradford. Well, Deacon created that with a beautiful jinking run. The ball came back off a Salford defender. And, well, the Bulls are enjoying it. And Michael Withers is enjoying it. He gets on the try-fest. First of Super League 6 for the Australian wing.
The ability to run the angle That is the reason why they scored this try. In and out, and back again. Back on the inside. Okay, it was meant for Stuart Spruce, but you pick up the scraps any way possible, and Withers did that. It's 4, and surely this would be 6. Excellent play there. At times, the Bulls have shown tremendous teamwork, and that in itself will please their coach, Brian Noble.
Well, he's Australian born, he is an Irish international, Michael Withers. And look at his record in the opening 5 games of this year. A new hair colour for 2001, Michael Withers. But the same old story. Henry Paul converted, bang in front, 40 points to 6, Bradford very much in control. Well, Henry Paul with the perfect goal kick. His team captain, brother Robbie, on the side now with Bill Arthur.
Robbie, that scoreline's going to look convincing, but it hasn't been the best of Bulls' performances, has it?
No, you're not wrong. You know, we could have done a lot of things better out there today. I think we've been unsettled by a lot of the play. But, you know, a 40-point scoreline isn't that bad when you reflect on it.
Well, fair dues to Salford. They've made you work for this, haven't they?
They have, and they've, you know, they've worked really hard and then put us under quite a bit of pressure. You know, we've had to do a lot of goal line defence. It's been a real goal line defence workout for us. But before I go, I'd just like to say hello. I know my children are watching this in New Zealand, so I'd just like to say hello to Aisha and Mia and my nephew Theo as well.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Two-way family favourites with Robbie Paul, and I'm sure that they're enjoying this in New Zealand as much as they will be in Bradford if they haven't made the journey over here to Salford today. 40 points to 6. The Bulls and their captain still pretty critical of this performance despite the heavyweight scoreline that they've got now against Salford. And here's Henry Paul looking for more. Flicks the pass to Fielden. They're keeping the ball alive. It's still the last tackle, this, by the way. Fielden fancies it. Fielden is hauled down 7 metres short of the line.
Well, with the scoreline at 40 to 6.
Hold on, wait, come on, James.
It's all action from the Bradford Bulls.
But Robbie, not terribly impressed, agreeing with Bill, not the best performance from Bradford Bulls. 40 points to 6 and not playing well. Not bad.
Well, to be fair, let's give a lot of credit to the Salford Reds. The reason why they perhaps haven't shown all the fancy skills has been due to the fact that Salford have really worked hard. They've got into their faces. Okay, they've lacked at certain times. They've just dropped a pace for 5, maybe 10 minutes at certain times where Bradford have taken advantage. And I think there's a lot for John Harvey to feel extremely pleased about. Okay, 40 to 6. Perhaps you might think it's a drubbing, but I think he'll be very positive about this.
There's plenty for him to build on, because they won't be playing the Bradford Bulls every week, that's for sure. And they're keeping this enthusiasm going right to the end. But they're having the devil's own job to get through this Bradford defence. That's 5 tackles gone. They only made 24 metres in possession here. And now Holroyd has got to kick downfield to clear the lines. Vicona collects 20 metres from his own try line. And he'll carry the ball back. Anderson, inside it goes to Spruce. The full-back, try scorer first half, fancies more, but tackled from Maloney. Withers.
Full credit to the Bulls though, Eddie. They're keeping this ball alive. I think they realise in their own minds that instead of just slowing things down and taking the win as easy as it is, they want to get more points. They're becoming aggressive even into the last couple of minutes.
Well, they've got about 90 seconds to add more, but this is the last tackle. Referee takes a tumble. Lowe's with a little chip over the top, but straight down the throat of Littler. So the last minute of the match, and if Salford hang on for their set of 6, they could well end up in possession at the end of this match. We've got 60 seconds remaining.
Good tackle yet again from Mike Forshaw. Really has settled into the loose forward position so well.
Stand up next time.
Here's Alker. Tackled by Fielden.
Hands out.
And he's another defender, Stuart Fielden. He's worked overtime in that department.
Well, Bradford might just get another chance here. This is the 4th tackle. Oh, the ball has flicked there off the fingers of Bobby Goulding. It's a knock-on,
Come round.
and it's going to be head and feed to the Bulls. So providing it forms in the next 25 seconds, they will get just 1 or 2 more attempts at getting over the line. But 40 points to 6, an easy victory in the end.
It's turned out that way, and with only seconds remaining, surely it'll be a kick and chase situation, or will they just relax and say, OK, we'll take the 2 points?
No, it's a kick and chase from Henry Paul, but Pinkney had funneled his way back. I think they'll settle for it, and Pinkney now fancies a kick and chase. That came off the fingertips of Spruce. Deakin hammers the ball out. That will be the end of it, and Deakin has made a fair impression since he came on in this second half. But the Bradford Bulls have run out easy winners in the end by 40 points to 6. Salford couldn't add to their half-time tally of 6 points, but 3 more tries from Bradford